Good afternoon, everyone. This is Papaya News, and I'm Robert.
Hello, I'm Hannah.
Hannah, did you like to try new restaurants and coffee shops around the university campus?
Sure, I love it. Doesn't everybody?
I know I certainly do. Well, we have sent our reporting team, Narcissus and Rock, to look for new good places to eat, and they have found the Bon Bon Cafe.
The Bon Bon Cafe? I've heard of it, but I've never been there.
That's okay, because Rock and Narcissus have gone out to explore it and made a short video to introduce it to us all.
That sounds interesting. Let's take a look.
Okay, now we're in a lovely place called Bon Bon Cafe in Pingdong, and this is the owner of this cafe, and his name is Ken. Ken. Okay, now, so Ken, can you please introduce this lovely place for us?
We came to Taiwan in around 2007. Originally, the plan was up in the air, and then we finally decided to try having a school, an English school, after school studies. We tried that for 5 years, but our dream was really to have a cafe. My wife has always loved baking. I love the environment of a cafe and the designing and building of a cafe was my interest as well. So we took this property and we turned it around. It took us about a year of construction. I did it mostly myself. I had a little help. Mostly the design and the building myself. My wife helped as well, and a couple of other people. We opened about just over a year ago. And I've known coffee ever since I was a child. I've been around coffee, and my mother and father allowed us to drink coffee. We used to mix milk and coffee together, and we would pour it into a tray, into a saucer, and we would drink it like this. So it was fun. It was for fun. Well, that was an idea of cooling the coffee down. The coffee was hot, so we would put it in the saucer, and that would cool it down, and we could drink it.
So, what's the most famous, most popular coffee in the store? Is it the black American coffee, or is it latte, or what is it? The most popular one?
In Canada, where I'm from, coffee is very popular, a morning drink. And when I first came to Taiwan, maybe 10 years ago, I didn't see that to be the case. But I think the culture is changing, and more people are making a transition from tea into coffee. And surprisingly, black coffee is very, very popular here now. Much to my surprise. A lot of people come in and they want to experience American style or Canadian style cheesecake, sweet cake and a bitter coffee, sort of a marriage between the two. They balance each other out.
Yeah, and we've looked all of your cakes and everything, and we understand that everything is homemade. Could you sort of introduce your cookies and cakes, desserts? We could just talk about.
We have a New York style cheesecake, plain cheesecake, very heavy, very dense and large portion, New York style. Unlike the Japanese style, very light and fluffy. Ours is high content of cream cheese. It's very delicious. We have fruit pies, apple pie, which I feel I'm a connoisseur of apple pie. My wife's best critic, because I grew up having my mother or grandmother baking apple pies at home. So I made sure that she had to make them just right. Apple pie, cheesecake, English style cones, scones, quiche Lorraine.
Very popular.
We have Canadian style butter tarts.
Eclair.
eclair, Boston cream eclairs. We have macaroons.
That's the
Macaroons.
cake people will come here looking for,
Yeah.
like clear chocolate cake. Oh, yeah.
Chocolate cake. Yeah.
A double chocolate layer cake using a chocolate ganache instead of icing.
Chocolate mousse.
Chocolate mousse. We have a chocolate mousse.
A lot of people
We don't compromise on quality. Everything is homemade, and we use the best ingredients that we can, and everything is fresh. So I think people appreciate that.
How about the drinks? I can tell you have vinegars and you have Earl Grey tea. And do you have any special ingredients that is different from like Crown Cafe or Starbucks? Do you use different coffee beans or different tea bags?
Sure. All of our tea is organic. My wife was very adamant about making sure that the tea was organic. All homemade teas, various fruit teas and Earl Grey teas, milk tea, black tea. The coffee we import. We have the beans imported to Taipei from around the world. Ethiopia. We use Kenya AA, and we use Brazil. A special blend. We roast them all individually instead of together. And then we roast each bean to its optimum roasting level of roast, and then we blend them together after they've been roasted.
So you roast it here or?
Yes, I have a roaster just outside.
Awesome.
A state-of-the-art coffee roasting machine that is actually a glass drum, which is very unique. It's made in Korea, and you can actually watch the transition of the bean going from a green color to a yellow, amber, light brown, and then dark brown.
Really?
And you can see the transition. So it's very state-of-the-art.
Awesome. Could you talk about the decoration of the shop? Because we know that you've decorated this yourself, and do you have any specific concept in mind before you design this shop?
I wanted an environment that I would appreciate to be in myself. We wanted to create an environment that we were comfortable in. I wanted it to be something that was reminiscent for me back home, an environment that I like. I used to rent raw factory studio space or raw factory space and convert it into a studio for an artist, a music studio, or a living space for people as a loft. Hardwood floors, and give it almost a museum feel. High ceilings, big windows. So I had that in mind with this place, and I also I wanted it to be very pleasing to the eye. Lighting is very important to me. I think a lot of people are lacking in good lighting. And also, when you're sitting at a table, I have the light focused right in your seating space. If you're reading a book, reading a newspaper, or eating cake, everything is illuminated with a very direct, pretty light.
What is the hardest obstacles you faced until today? That being a foreigner to open a coffee shop in Taiwan, do you face any hardships that it's really tough for you?
I think Taiwan is a great country for business and starting business. There's so much red tape back home. It's so difficult. They don't make it easy to open a business back home. The obstacle was just getting used to the lifestyle of hospitality and service. My wife has experience in that arena, but for me, it's kind of new. So any new change in your life will bring on stress. So it was a bit stressful for me at first, but you soon overcome, and now it's commonplace for me now.
If our school students want to come to your shop, what coffee and dessert combination would you recommend?
Everything, really.
Okay.
That looks like a good place to go.
It sure does.
Would you like to go and get a bite to eat later? I think I know the perfect place.
That sounds great.
Well, that's all we have time for today. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Robert.
And this is
Papaya News. Good afternoon.